Hello friends, we are beginning with coordinate geometry. Very easy chapter it is. In coordinate geometry we will be studying that how the points are plotted in the plane. Up till now you have plotted points on a line. Now we are understanding something about that how a point can be plotted in the plane. So in this chapter we shall first describe the position of a point on a plane with reference to two mutually perpendicular lines on the plane called the coordinate of the point. We shall use plotting of points in a plane to draw the graph of linear equation, maybe in one variable or two variables. The above study was initially developed by French philosopher and mathematician René Descartes. It is known as analytical geometry or coordinate geometry. The ordered pair is a pair of numbers taken in specific order and written as AB. So do remember what is an ordered pair. Ordered pair, here we are writing down as AB. So AB is the ordered pair. We will know about it more later. Let's come to Cartesian system. Descartes invented the idea of placing two such lines perpendicular to each other on a plane so that two origins coincide. Origin of one line and origin of the other line. Origin you already know. On a number line, wherever we put 0, on left hand side we are placing negative integers, on right hand side we place positive integers. So 0 is known as origin. So here we are talking about two lines, that's why we are mentioning two origins coincide and is called a coordinate plane. So here the diagram shows that this is one line, this is another line. This is the number line, what we call it as x-axis. It may be denoted as x-axis or may be denoted as x dash o x. This is y-axis. It is denoted as y dash, y o y dash. So here this is one origin, that is another origin. Here x dash o x and y o y dash are two number lines perpendicular to each other and meeting at a point O, the origin. X dash OX is called x-axis, that is this one which I already said earlier, and Y dash OY dash is called y-axis. O is called the origin and its coordinates are 0, 0. Then we are talking about how this particular plane is named. We know that it is known as coordinate plane, but here when we draw two perpendicular lines, the plane is getting divided into four parts, and these four parts are specifically known as the quadrant. Each part is known as quadrant. Here this part is known as the first quadrant. Second part, that is known as second quadrant. This is third quadrant and this is fourth quadrant. Quadrant means quarter part of the plane, quarter, and from where the word comes quadrant. So here x dash o x and y o y dash combined together are called coordinate axis. Do remember AXES, that is plural, AXIS, that is singular. The coordinate axis divide the plane into four parts called quadrants. The first one is XOY is called first quadrant. XOY, that is first quadrant. Then YOX dash, or we can call it X dash OY, that is second quadrant. Then X dash OY dash, that is third quadrant. Then XOY dash, that is called fourth quadrant. So do remember accordingly. Then we are talking about how coordinates of a point are assigned, or how do we call the coordinates of a particular point. So here we are going to explain how coordinates of point P are assigned and how coordinates of point Q are assigned. Now here we see that P is a point and it is at a distance of 4 units from y-axis. P is at a distance of 4 units from y-axis and it is at a distance of 3 units from x-axis. So if we see P, if we read P on x-axis, it comes out to be 4. If we read P on y-axis, it comes out to be 3. That's why coordinates of P are going to be 4, 3. Coordinates of P are going to be 4, 3. Okay. Now let's see about here Q. Now when you see Q, first have a look on x-axis. What appears on x-axis? It is -3. What appears on y-axis? It is -2. That's why coordinates of Q are -3, -2. Okay. So here it has been explained. The perpendicular distance of P from y-axis is 4 units. Perpendicular distance of P from y-axis is 4 units. That is PM is equal to OM. Either you call it PN or you call it OM. After all, it is going to be 4 units. Similarly, perpendicular distance of P from x-axis, that is 3. That is PM or ON is equal to 3. And therefore, we say coordinates of P are 4, 3. Similarly, Q has coordinates -3 and -2. Here, for P, 4, 3, 4 is called x coordinate. Whatever we write first, that is always known as x coordinate. It is always to be read and understood as x coordinate. X coordinate is also known as abscissa. And 3 is called y coordinate and it is known as ordinate. Now let's see plotting of a point. How do we plot a point? When the coordinates of a point are given, we can place these points on the coordinate plane. The process is known as plotting the point. So whenever we represent the given point in the plane, what we even call it as plotting of a point. You can either say represent a point in the plane or it can be said plot a point in the plane. So here we have shown, let us plot a point. Let us plot a point. One is -3, 4, 2, 3, -3, 2 and 4, 3. Now these lines which I have drawn, broken lines, they are not to be drawn because you are using graph paper. Here this is a plain paper, so I have drawn these particular lines. But if you are using graph paper, these vertical and horizontal lines apart from axis are not required. Only x, x dash or y, y dash are to be drawn. No other lines are to be shown, only points. Okay. Now let's see how -3, 4 can be plotted. So when you want to see -3, because -3 is x coordinate, you will say -3. You will reach to 4 on x-axis, y-axis. That -3, you will look in front of 4. Wherever that perpendicular line of 4 and perpendicular line of -3 coincide, meet, that is -3, 4. Let's say about the second point, 2, 3. Now here 2, you are looking at x-axis. Go to a height till you reach 3 on y-axis. Wherever these two lines coincide, that is 2, 3. Whenever you put a point, it is just a dot and that dot has to be encircled. Then comes about -3, -2. So you are reading minus 3 on x axis, because x coordinate is minus 3. So minus 3, minus 2. So here is the point. Similarly, 4 minus 3. 4 is x coordinate. So you are looking on at 4 coming down, because minus 3 comes on the lower side. So 4, you are looking perpendicularly that where minus 3 is there. Wherever these two lines coincide, that is 4 minus 3. Then comes about points lying on x-axis and points lying on y-axis. Remember, if a point lies on x-axis, then its y-coordinate is 0. I repeat, if a point lies on x-axis, suppose here we have, if a point lies on x-axis, its y-coordinate is 0. So phi 0, that is a point that lies on x-axis. So, and if a point is lying on y-axis, its x-coordinate will be 0. It's very easy to remember. If point lies on x-axis, y-coordinate is 0. If point lies on y-axis, x-coordinate is 0. So likewise, phi 0 and 0, 3 are plotted on the axis. Then comes about, this question has been given to you, and this question will be forwarded to you, which you will be doing in your notebook. Okay? So do write down, do try to understand whatever we have done. This is easy chapter, a scoring chapter. It is not at all difficult one. So better try and to understand. You will be able to do it. Don't worry. This sum is in homework. You will be doing it. Okay. See you then.